as you settle in to your space, perhaps the eyes close. Perhaps the breath begins to deepen. The jaw softens. And notice the spaces in the fingers and toes and allow those to relax. Letting the arms hang heavy in the sockets. Perhaps you've gone to your quiet space, or perhaps it's just your non-attached mind. Letting go of the thinking mind for just a wandering mind. And the jaw softens a bit more. The shoulders melt away from the ears. Just a few more moments here. On your next breath, begin to open the eyes. If you'd like to shift the legs, stretch them out and recross, you can take a moment to do that. And as you're ready, finding seated posture. Lengthening up through the spine just a bit more as you allow the shoulders to rest down the back. Now arms float up, inhale. On your exhalation, hinge forward. Round through the spine, drag the arms and hands in, and float back up. That's the inhale. And just move at your pace. Exhale to fold. Coming back up as you inhale. Head and arms float up together. The next time you are down in your forward fold, pause there, finding a compassionate edge for your body. Relax through the legs. As you inhale, lift the arms, unhinge from the hips, rise. Good. Twist to your left leg and float the hands down. Pause here. Now that hand back behind, the left hand comes up and over the head as you lean to the right side. You're holding on to your leg. And just find a side bend that is comfortable on your body. Moving back into your upright twist, raised hand comes down back behind, and pause there. Arms float up, center, and fold forward. Pause here. Allow the jaw to soften again. Engage through the core. Hover the hands, then unhinge from the hips using the core. Good. Twist to the right knee. Hands come down for your upright twist. You're on both sit bones, and the crown of the head is floating right in between the sit bones. Back hands, the right hand comes over the head as you lean to the left side. Moving back into upright twist, raised hand lowers down. As you inhale, arms float up, pause, center, arms lifted, lengthen through the sides of the body. Now intertwine your fingers back behind your head, and the pressure you have between head and hands is up to you. If you want a lot of pressure to get a deeper stretch, go right ahead. You'll start by bringing elbows together. Tuck chin, rolling down the spine, and very last, a slight tuck to the tailbone. Rise, starting at the tailbone. Keep pressure head to hands. And then lastly, you open up the elbows at the top. So it's an inhale, exhale, lower. And when you're ready, inhale at the top, or inhale to come back up. Exhale, lower. Inhale to rise. Pause here at the top. Continue your breath. Press head and hands together. Relax the leg. One more breath, and on your exhale, release the arms. Taking note of your lead leg, open your legs into a V position. Just sitting up as tall as you can on your sit bones, extend and flex your ankles. Add rotation. Switch direction. Good. We'll pause in a flexed position. Press into the heels. Spider walk your hands forward to find compassionate fold. You want to focus the stretch in the inner thighs. The more you arch your back and you have the tailbone lifted, the more you will focus the stretch on the inner thighs. Walk the hands back in. Left knee bends and bring your left foot to the inner thigh. Arms float up, inhale. Twist to your right leg and fold toward the toes. Hands touch down. And holding on to perhaps the toes or the ankle or the shin, your back hand, that's the right hand, floats up and over. And lower back down for your fold. Walk the hands center. Engage core, extend arms forward, lift hands and rise. Good, clear the sky. And we'll recross with your opposite leg as your lead leg. Settling back into the sit bones. And into your breath. Relax the legs, the jaw, shoulders. But find length through the spine, all the way through the back of the neck, out the crown of the head. Connecting with your breath. On your inhale, arms rise, and we'll meet in Anjali Mudra as you exhale. If you'd like to take a moment to set an intention for your practice, or come back to the intention you started for the day, something positive and something present, such as I am, fill in the blank, or I have, fill in the blank. Breathing your intention in with each inhale. On this inhale, arms rise. lengthen up to the ceiling and hinge forward as you exhale. Round through the spine, drag the hands back. Stacking the spine, the head and the arms float up. That's your inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Rise on your inhale. Fold on your exhale. One more time. Now this time, as your hands touch down, pause here to find compassionate fold. Perhaps you're walking the hands out a bit further, moving deeper into your posture as it feels good on your body. Always be mindful of your body. Engage the core, begin to hover the hands and unhinge, rise, good. Arms stay lifted for just a bit longer. Twist toward the right knee, arms stay lifted. Use your core, so you're engaging the waistline, zipping up the core, and hands float down for support. Upright twist. Relax your legs. And the back hands, the right hand, over the head as you lean to the left. Come back into upright twist. Arms float up, pause here, keep the core engaged. Twist center, fold forward. Pausing here. Finding compassionate edge. Engage core, begin to hover hands, lift arms, unhinge. Twist to the left leg, hold. Using the core, relax your legs, zip up, zip up, zip up. And hands float down for support. Back hand up and over as you lean to the right side. Coming out of the pose into upright twist. Staying in twist, arms rise. Turn center, clear the sky. Good. Sitting up nice and tall. Now hands wide as you can get them. So maybe only pointer finger or middle finger touch down, but maybe more fingers. Just depend on finger length and arm length. Sitting up as tall as you can. Take ear to shoulder. Doesn't matter what side, ear to shoulder. Just rock back and forth at a pace that feels good on your neck. Might be fast, it might be very slow. Keep energy moving down those fingers. Relax through the legs. One more time, getting each side in and bringing your head to neutral. Relax the arms. Extend both legs out into your V position. Point and flex through the feet and ankles. Add rotation. Switch direction. And pause in the flex position, pressing through the heels. Spider walk the hands forward to find your compassionate edge, focusing the stretch on the inner thighs. So the more the back is rounded and the tailbone tucked, the more the stretch is in the back. If you arch the back, keep the tailbone lifted, you can focus the stretch on the inner thighs. And that might mean, hey, this is my fold today. That's okay. But maybe you're pancaking all the way down to the mat. As you inhale, rise, and the right foot tucks into the inner thigh. So bend the right knee, arms float up when you're ready, twist toward straight leg, not raised leg, straight leg, and hinge. Pause here. And the front hand holds on to the foot, the shin, or the ankle, just depends on how deep you want to go. Back hand up and over. Good. Come back down to your fold. Arms float up and turn center as you clear the sky. Good. Come around, oh no, not yet. Come on to the sit bones. Sitting up nice and tall, option to just hold on to the shins or the backs of the thighs and hover the feet. Maybe the toes touch down or the heels touch down or completely hover. Next option, tabletop, either holding on or releasing. And then final option, holding on or releasing for your full boat pose. Balancing on the sit bones, not the tailbone. Sit up nice and tall. Keep breathing. Bring your feet down to the mat. Make sure you have plenty of room behind you. Lower down onto the back. Palms face down. The sides of your arms hug the sides of your body. Heels come in. And your heels or hips width apart. Bridge pose, unhinging at the hips. So all you're going to do, press into your shoulder blades, press into the feet, and unhinge the hips, lifting into bridge and pause. Press into your big toes all the way across to the little toes. Same with the balls of the feet. And press down through the center of the heels. Make sure there's nothing underneath your head and the energy isn't dumping back into the neck. You want the energy from the shoulders moving up the body, or I guess it would be down the body, to the knees. Unhinging from the hips, lower back down. So just bring those hips down. Tuck knees into chest and either roll to the side and press yourself up or roll up and meet in boat pose. Your choice. Maybe you're holding on, hovering. Maybe the toes are touching down. Pulling the belly up and in. Keeping your shoulders relaxed. Focusing on the core. Building strength in the core. Belly up and in, up and in, up and in, up and in. Excellent. Feet touch down. Use the core, bring the body back down to the mat, tuck the heels in. This time coming into bridge pose, articulating the spine. So squeeze your shoulder blades together. Starting with the tailbone, tuck the tailbone, lift the bottom of the tailbone, and the top of the tailbone, rolling through the spine until you find bridge pose. If you feel the neck flattening out, you're lifting a little too far for your body or a little too high. So come down just a bit or squeeze your shoulder blades together a little bit more so you have more support. Starting with the top of the spine, begin to roll down, and last, the bottom of the tailbone touches down. Tuck the legs in, either roll to the side or roll up. One more boat pose. Feel free to change your boat pose as we go along. Feet touch down and come on to all fours, however you'd like to get there. As you find tabletop position, take a moment to move through cow and cat. If it feels better to hold each pose for a breath or two, go right ahead. Just mindful movement, noticing if you need any attention in the back or the neck, and taking a moment and working that tension out. So as we flow today, I still am not practicing chaturanga or even moving to knees down, chest down. So feel free to practice chaturanga or knees down, chest down. Make sure you feel warmed up enough to go into whatever one you're going to use today. Or you can follow along and hold plank with me. The next time you're in cat pose, pause there. Pressing the front body away from the mat. Heart center, back of heart center is lifting up to the ceiling. As you come to neutral, press down into your shins, press down into the hands, find neutral, zip up the core. Soften the legs, move into cow pose, pause there, pressing the front body away from the mat, but this time heart center is sinking down and forward. As you come into neutral, activate, press into the legs, press into the hands, find neutral. Long spine, belly pulls in. Soften and cat pose. Tuck. So now we won't hold as long. Coming into neutral, press into shins, zip up the core, lengthen the spine. Soften, cow pose. Neutral, activate legs, activate core, activate arms. One more time, soften, cat pose. Activate, press into shins, lengthen spine, zip up core, press into hands. Soften, cow pose. Activate to neutral. And soften. Good. Slide your hands forward. Shift your weight forward into knee plank. Lift into full plank if you'd like. Downward facing dog. Bend your right knee, pressing into left heel. Tailbone, sit bones lifted up to the ceiling. Those fingers are spread wide. Switch, so right heel down, left knee bent. And with the hands, you're pressing into the thumb side of the hands just a bit more as the arms hug toward the ears. Both heels now, press down. They do not have to touch the mat. Zip up the core. Lower slowly to the knees. Slow, slow, slow. Shift your weight forward, knee plank. Pause here or lift into full plank. You decide. Excellent. Downward facing dog. Both knees bend. As you bend the knees, try to avoid shifting into the shoulders. Just bend the knees, keep the hips tilted upward. Straighten, press through the heels, get the stretch. And lower down nice and slow to the knee. Zip up the core as if you have a weight on your body and you're trying to be as smooth as you can without that weight plopping down. As the knees touch down, knee plank, hold, or full plank, hold. Excellent. One more, downward facing dog. Any kind of movement here that feels good for your body. It might be holding still, that's beautiful. And if you're stretching into opposite legs, get that other leg in. And we'll lower down onto the knees, take it slow. As you come to the knees this time, shift your weight forward and move all the way down onto the belly and heart. Arms start in goal post. Relax the legs. Begin to peel the body up off the mat. We'll do this about 4 times. So 4 times to find your compassionate edge. It doesn't have to be your fully warmed up compassionate edge. Just wherever you're feeling your back bend right now. I think this is 5. So we'll do it one more time. Excellent. Staying in goal post position, this time root down through the feet, flex through the legs, zip up the core, arms now hover as you lift the chest, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lower back to neutral. Lift, lower. And just do that moving with your breath. Feel the back body engage. Two more. Last one. Lower down, stacking hand over hand to rest chin or forehead, whatever feels best to you. Feet can be hips width apart or touching. Keep the chest and upper body relaxed and the arms relaxed. Lift at the hips, lifting the feet, lower back down. Lift and lower. Lifting to your compassionate edge, whatever that is. Belly pulls back in. And last two. 1, 2. Release down. Allow the back muscles to relax. You can pigeon toe the feet. You can rock the hips. You can bend at the knees and windshield wiper the legs. Whatever feels good. Or maybe just hold stillness. On your next inhale, begin to prep and find your way back into downward facing dog. Checking in with down dog. You have a strong upper body stretching through the back of the legs. Core is pulling in. Right leg floats up, inhale. As you exhale, tuck and step to the right thumb. This can be as many steps as you'd like. You can just adjust your foot till you find high runner's lunge. Shift your weight around a little bit. Might need to hop your back foot in to get a little more freedom in your joints. Now, if you have blocks, a good time to use the blocks on either side to prop up your hands. Begin to straighten and bend your front leg. Just adding a little bit of movement in your joints. Next time you're in low lunge, or rather high runner's lunge, pause there. Lengthen through the crown of the head, lengthen through the heel. Float your front foot back, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts on an inhale. As you exhale, tuck and step to the left thumb. As many steps as you'd like. When you find high lunge, add a little bit of movement, like a gliding rocker. You can even little twists from side to side, just moving and manipulating your joints a little bit. You can always hop your back foot in if you feel like that's a little bit unstable for you. Pause and begin to straighten and bend the front knee. You can be on finger pads, you can be on knuckles, or flat on the palms, or of course on your blocks with those same hand positions. Next time the knee is bent, pause there, finding length from heel outward, crown of the head outward. Step back, downward facing dog. Readjust, down dog. Right leg floats up, inhale. As you exhale, tuck and step through high lunge. Feel free to hop back foot in if you'd like. From here, pyramid pose. Options to come into flat back and rest your hands on blocks or your shin or even your quadricep, your thigh. You can also have your hands down on the ground. Bend front knee, step back, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts, inhale. As you exhale, tuck, step through, high runner's lunge. To pyramid pose. Rest hands on thigh, shin, blocks, or mat. Avoid pressing into the knee. Make sure the hips are square. So you'll notice here that your back heel is lifted. It can also be lowered down, but your toes are pointing to the top of your mat. High runner's lunge, downward facing dog. Wave your body into plank pose. You can hold plank. You can go knees down, chest down, or move into chaturanga. You decide, moving with breath. Be mindful of each position. Make sure shoulders stay melting down the back. We'll meet in down dog. So the next part of the flow, we're going to go into plank pose. Shift your weight, plank pose. Tuck your left knee in. Turn to the right, extend left leg out. Lower the foot down and open up into fallen triangle. You can also keep your left knee down on the ground and open up that way. Rotate down, shift back into plank pose. From plank, downward facing dog. Plank, right knee tucks in. Option to just lower the knee down as you open up. Next option, kick it over to the opposite side, extend, lower, then open. Fallen triangle. Lift up through the hips. Plank, down dog. One more time, wave your body into plank pose. Coming right back into plank. Knees down, chest down, hold plank or chaturanga. Your decision. Meeting in down dog. Right leg floats up, inhale. As you exhale, tuck, step through, starting in high runner's lunge. Now adjust your back foot 90 degrees. As you cartwheel up, straighten your front leg. Good, arms out to either side. Extend your front hand forward and your back hip. So the left hip moves back, your front hand moves forward. Stack the hands. Triangle. You can use a block, front or back of the leg, or you can rest your hand on the shin. Rise, bend your front knee, rotate down to high runner's lunge, downward facing dog. Reset your down dog. Left leg floats up, inhale. As you exhale, tuck, step through. Back foot 90 degrees. As you cartwheel up, straighten your front leg. Good. Relax those shoulders. Now shift that front hand forward and your back hip back and stack. So you want to feel the core engage. You want to activate through the glutes. Feel the inner thighs working. Rise. Bending the front knee, cartwheel down, float into down dog. From down dog, now you can always hold down dog. Please feel free to do that as well. Wave into plank if you would like. Find your flow, knees down, chest down, or chaturanga, or hold. You can even hold knee plank. You can hold a side plank too, but we'll be doing lots of fallen triangles. Meeting in downward facing dog. So we're eventually going to add all of this together. Right leg floats up, inhale. Wait, we just did, no, yeah, well, this is good. Tuck, step through. High runner's lunge to start. Adjust back foot 90 degrees. As you cartwheel up, your front leg straightens and your front hand moves up above the head. Revolved, or not revolved, reverse triangle. So you have a long line from right toes to right fingers. Your back arm can hang, your back arm can bind. I like to hold on to actually the front of my ribs and lift the side rib. I think it feels good. I get an extra stretch. Cartwheel down, bending front knee pivot, float into down dog. Reset your down dog. and left side. Inhale up, tuck, step through, taking as many steps as you'd like. 90 with your back foot, and reverse triangle. Excellent. Cartwheel down, pivot. Float back, down dog. Wave your body into plank pose to flow if you would like. Excellent, nice, good breath. And down dog. So now we have one more pose. Right leg floats up. Step through. 45, this time with your back foot. 45. Cartwheel up, straightening your front leg. Back hand crosses over the body as your right hand comes to a shark fin, or you can raise your right hand into the air. I can't demonstrate with this shoulder, but it can be straight up into the air, stacked above the shoulder. Now the bottom hand can be on the foot or the ankle, it can be on the outside of the foot touching the mat, or the inside of the foot touching the mat. Experiment. What makes you feel more stable, or what's your next step into adding a little bit of balance work? Rotate, pivot on your back foot, a brief high runner's lunge, and then step back, down dog. Reset, down dog. Excellent breath. Left leg floats up. Tuck, step through. 45 with your back foot. Cartwheel up to straight front leg. And now rotate across the body. Revolve your triangle. So this is what it looks like with a straight arm. Lifting that arm straight up above your shoulder. Engage the glutes to keep your hips stable. And make sure the head isn't plopping down. The neck is in line with your spine. If this feels like you're wrenching your shoulder, always go to shark fin. It's easier to open up your ribs that way. And it's a twist at the waist, not a twist at the shoulder. Rotate now, pivot on your back foot, float back, down dog. Wave into plank for your transition float. Excellent. Meeting in down dog. So we'll put all of those poses together. First, pyramid pose. Right leg floats up. Tuck, step through, pause here. So the toes stay the same. You're not shifting your back foot. Feel free to hop the back foot in as needed. Pyramid pose, straighten the front leg. Hips stay square. Engage the core. Bend your front knee to high runner's lunge. Oh, I did this wrong last time, but that's okay. So your right leg floats back. Tuck the right knee back into the chest. Shift over to the left, but you always have option to lower the knee straight down for fallen triangle. Plank. Down dog. Right leg again. Right leg floats up. Tuck, step through. Back foot 90 degrees. Cartwheel to triangle pose. So your arms come up, shift forward, and stack. Can always do different things with your top arm. Can keep the hand on the hip. Can extend the hand over the head, or both arms over the head. Can experiment. Reverse triangle, rotating front arm, right arm back up over the head, combined. Can add a little push on the ribs or a lift to the ribs. Come into neutral torso, arms out into a T. You can keep your back foot 90. I don't like it, it hurts my knee. Feel free to Take that foot in to 45 degrees as you move into revolved triangle. Engage the glutes as if you can hug the sides of your hips inward. Excellent. And unwind, unwind. Coming into high lunge. Float back, down dog. We'll add a flow here. Wave into plank. And find your movement. Knees down, chest down, or chaturanga. Downward facing dog. Left leg. Three-legged dog. Step through. Toes stay right where they are unless you'd like to hop in a little bit. Pyramid pose. Straighten your front leg. Still engage the glutes. Zip up the core, find length through your spine. Always have options to have hands on that thigh. The shin blocks for the floor. Bend front knee, high runner's lunge. Step back, plank pose. Find a strong plank, and now left knee tucks in. You can lower that knee down or rotate and extend out into fallen triangle. Plank to downward facing dog. Readjust your down dog. Left leg floats up. Step through. Back foot 90 degrees, cartwheel into triangle. You can experiment with your top arm if you'd like. Revolved, no, not revolved, reverse triangle. Backhand combined, come around the front. As you move into revolve, no, yeah, revolved. All these R's are messing me up, I'm sorry. Revolved triangle, your back foot can move to 45 degrees. But it doesn't have to. If you have that flexibility, go right ahead. Feels good. It's a twist at the rib cage, not at the shoulder. So the shoulder and arm, it's ease. If it's feeling stressed, take it down a notch, come to shark fin, or hand on the hip. Rotate down, pivot to high runner's lunge. Float back, down dog. Wave into plank for your transition flow. Moving in down dog. All right, so now you know how it hooks together. Do it a little bit faster. From down dog. Right leg lifts, three-legged dog. Step through, pyramid pose, straighten front leg. High lunge, float back, keep your right foot hovering. Tuck the right foot back in, fallen triangle. Keeping your right foot hovering, plank pose. Three-legged dog. Step through, triangle pose, 90 degrees, cartwheel up, find neutral, extend forward, and stack. Reverse, I got it right, reverse triangle. Lengthen the front side of the body. Revolved triangle. Adjust your back foot as needed. Excellent. And coming out of the pose, meeting in high lunge, pivot on your back foot. Float back, down dog. Wave into plank, zip up the core, and find your flow. Meeting in down dog, excellent. Left leg, three-legged dog. Step through, pyramid pose. High runner's lunge. Left foot will stay lifted as you float into plank. Tuck the knee back in, fallen triangle. Excellent. Keeping the left foot lifted, plank. Three-legged dog. Step through, triangle pose, 90 degrees, cartwheel up, reach forward and step. Reverse triangle. Lengthen and straighten your front arm. Revolved triangle, paying attention to your back foot, adjusting as needed. Rotate, pivot to find high lunge. Last flow here, float back down dog. Wave into plank for hold or flow. After this flow, child's pose or embryo pose or some kind of relaxing pose. Beautiful, excellent. If it's in your practice and you want to do a headstand or handstand here, go right ahead, but make sure it's in your practice, as we're not going to go to the wall or have support in any way. Excellent, excellent, excellent work today. Just take a moment, breathe, release, and relax. Wonderful. Begin to rise, coming around onto the sit bones and down onto the back. Make sure you have plenty of room back behind you. Shoulder blades stay down on the mat. Tuck the legs into the chest. Arms now either come out into a T position, goalpost position, your upside down low V position. Whatever's comfortable, you can always adjust. Now lower the legs to the left side. Keep your right shoulder blade glued down, and the legs go all the way down. If just for some reason that right shoulder wants to stay lifted, make sure the arm is in your low V position, that upside down V. That way there's not a lot of space or a lot of pressure on your joint. Your left hand, press down on your top thigh if you'd like to deepen the twist. You can look to the side or stay looking straight up. Deep, full breath, expanding into the right side of the lungs. Very mindfully coming out of the pose and back onto the back, and just make sure the hips are square and the shoulders are square. Adjust any way that you need to find that position. Tuck knees into the chest. Being mindful of your arms and left shoulder this time. Rotate legs to the right side until the legs touch down. Your right hand can be placed on the top thigh. As you find your twist, you can look to the side or keep the head straight up or the nose straight up. Deep, full breaths into the left side. mindfully coming out of the pose. Tucking the knees into the chest. Here, you can rock from side to side, or you can come into happy baby and rock from side to side, or a little bit of both, whatever feels best on your body. You want your shoulders to stay relaxed. The jaw softens again. Begin to find stillness. And if there's a final pose you'd like to do, or would you like to join me in candle pose, you decide. Begin to shift into your final pose, or meet me in candle pose with the feet up above the hips. If you have a blanket or a block, feel free to kind of prop up the tailbone, the very end of it on the prop. As you find, if you're in candle pose, as you find candle pose, make sure you relax and then find stillness. We'll hold for a few more breaths. Maybe the eyes begin to close. The breath perhaps begins to deepen. At any time now, feel free if you'd like to stay in this pose for Shavasana, go right ahead. But if you'd like to slowly work your way into Shavasana, take time, allowing points on your body to just melt. Finding a quiet space in your mind, or practicing non-attachment to busy mind. With each breath that goes by, surrender to this moment, melting into your mat. Release and let go. Knowing you're exactly where you should be at this moment into your breath. Very slowly and mindfully become aware of your breath. Perhaps adding a sigh with your exhalations, if that feels good. Begin to shift and move. Perhaps moving into a stretch, or just rolling to the fetal position to pause. Take your time, move very slowly. Mindfully begin to rise. We'll unite our breath with an inhale and arms float up. Bringing the palms to Anjali Mudra as you exhale and pause. And take a moment with your intention that you set. And if it still feels right to you, take that with you today. But perhaps it's time to set a new intention. And if so, take a moment and breathe your new intention in. And I would like to thank you so much for being here and for trusting me to guide you and to feel safe here at Body Calm. Thank you for participating on Facebook. Namaste.